So you may have seen news articles about this Justin Baldoni supporter protesting at South by Southwest. The problem is they are not a Justin Baldoni supporter. They're a known alt-right content creator doing a PR stunt to boost engagement with their content. So I think it's time we talked about the alt-right pop culture pipeline. Whenever we talk about the alt-right pipeline that indoctrinizes and normalizes far-right content, we often talk about the manosphere and the various entry points that it provides, from men's dating coaches and pickup artists to men's rights activists and red pill podcasts. But recently, another entry point into the alt-right pipeline has been highlighted: celebrity pop culture. Very early on in the discourse around the sexual harassment allegations against Justin Baldoni, I noticed that many of Justin's supporters and defenders were making statements that seemed very odd, with a number of comments suggesting that I don't think women can do any harm or that they can't be toxic, or pushing the narrative that women make false allegations. Which made no sense, as they were contradicting everything that Baldoni's platform stood for: listening to women and not dismissing their stories. They are, however, statements I have heard over and over again from alt-right misogynists looking to justify their hatred of women and why anything connected to feminism is evil. It wasn't just the commenters though. Many of the content creators who have seized the opportunity to ride the wave of the latest celebrity news, posting dozens of videos on this topic, have also expressed deeply problematic right-wing opinions. Now, I'm not going to specifically name them, but for example, one creator was called out by their own Patreons for defending Elon's Roman salute. Another was called out again by their own audience for comments promoting transphobia and support of anti-vaxxer Robert F. Kennedy. And a prominent YouTube creator posted a conspiratorial video talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, a noted QAnon alt-right conspiracy theory. It's not by accident or coincidence then that these creators then not only supported Candace Owens' pivot into pop culture commentary, but were actively promoting her content and her viewpoints, as well as defending attempts to call out Candace Owens' problematic history as a smear campaign. Candace has a well-documented history of being a Yahtzee supporter. Her platform was suspended for hate speech. She has repeatedly downplayed the factual atrocities of the Holocaust, calling it propaganda, and said that hatred towards the mustached German man is nothing more than indoctrination. Which is why when Candace was first being mentioned in celebrity tea circles, creators were calling her out and saying to stop supporting, promoting, and engaging with her content. That these creators were trying to justify and normalize the views of a literal Yahtzee simply because they agreed with her on a single unrelated topic: their hatred of Blake Lively. However, when you support, platform, and engage with her content because of her support for Baldoni, you are also supporting, platforming, and boosting the reach of her other content, such as her investigation into how Harvey Weinstein was intentionally wrongly convicted, or her interview platforming a man so toxic that just mentioning his name will block this video on TikTok. Now that should, if you have a single ethical bone in your body, cause you immediate disgust and a desire to completely disengage with her content. Because defending and trying to rehabilitate the reputation of a Yahtzee, promoting their content, boosting its reach and growing their audience and putting money into their pockets makes your behaviors identical to one of them, even if you yourself are not a true believer. And this connection to misogyny and then suddenly being really interested in World War II history is not anything surprising. For example, noted misogynist Myron Gaines of the Fresh and Fit podcast that was kicked off YouTube's monetization platform last year has also repeatedly defended Yahtzees, including posting last October about how "I'm no fan of the mustached German men, but," which is a sentence that never ends in anything good. The point of this content and these creators has always been to promote far-right political opinion and simply disguise it as pop culture commentary and just criticism for Blake Lively specifically, that's all. Yet that hatred and misogyny quickly spilled over to anyone even supportive of Blake Lively, such as Colleen Hoover, who had to suspend her Instagram account, as well as Jenny Slate, Brandon Sklenar, and even the former co-host of Baldoni's podcast Man Enough, Liz Plank. All have been harassed, criticized, and insulted for not supporting Baldoni. Anna Kendrick, who has stayed out of the conversation entirely, was seemingly asked by a journalist at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to offer comment on the situation and gracefully declined. But because she didn't offer a full-throated endorsement of a man who has been accused of sexual harassment, she too was torn apart by those creators and by those in their comments. Even fans who simply pose for a selfie with Blake Lively are being targeted, as these creators have sought out and exposed personal information about them in retaliation for taking a selfie. Which brings us back to the inaccuracy of calling these people supporters of Justin Baldoni. Many of them are openly hostile to progressive politics, feminism, and in particular have devoted themselves to undermining the Me Too movement and any allegations of sexual assault. Many of them have also vigorously defended Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, and Danny Masterson. So, with respect, please stop calling these people supporters of Justin Baldoni and call them out for what they really are. Alt-right misogynists and opportunists, tearing up what little progress has been made for victims by aligning themselves with far-right creators known for hate speech. And if they are unwilling to stop supporting and endorsing the content of far-right creators, then you have your answer on where they stand, and more importantly, what they themselves stand for.